In the last 24 hours, Call of Duty just dropped a huge surprise on us. Out of absolutely nowhere, Modern Warfare 2019, Black Ops Cold War, and Call of Duty Vanguard are now available on Steam. Now, to some, this might not sound like a big deal, but to others, this is huge, and there's some very exciting implications from this. Firstly, Call of Duty hasn't been on Steam for many years. It's been Battle.net exclusive on PC, meaning you've needed a separate launcher. PC players haven't been too fond of that. Secondly, with these games now supported on Steam, that is another platform for cross-play, meaning there'll be more players on these old games and more players on PC on these games. Especially with regards to Call of Duty Zombies, the last recent COD Zombies on Steam was Black Ops 3, so having Cold War on Steam means there's going to be a lot more PC players enjoying Zombies on there. There are two even more exciting implications with these games now on Steam. First one being that many Steam games are supported on the Steam Deck, allowing you to play Call of Duty anywhere in the world on the go. It's insane. Especially with Black Ops 3 supporting on the Steam Deck, where you can play that anywhere and play custom maps anywhere. It's crazy, and the potential for future Call of Duties to have that is unbelievable. And I'm very proud to let you know that Modern Warfare, Cold War, and Vanguard do work on Steam Deck. And I'm genuinely blown away to see Cold War Zombies working on this and playing it, and the fact that it works with the joysticks and the buttons like as if it's a native controller is absolutely insane. This is me enjoying D Machine on the Steam Deck, and yeah, whilst the graphics aren't the greatest because the screen is only 800p, it is still perfectly fine if I was ever on the go wanting to get my zombies fixed, which is unbelievably cool that we now have that for modern zombies. Now, this is working on the Steam Deck. It is on the lowest graphical settings, but I am getting between 60 and 70 FPS, which for a game that's only a few years old on this tiny machine, which is basically like a beefed up Nintendo Switch, this is absolutely unreal. And whilst you are seeing this on the Steam Deck, and I really am playing it, there is a little bit of a caveat to it, and it's the fact that this doesn't work natively on the Steam Deck. And this will go for Modern Warfare 2019, Cold War, and Vanguard. They do work on Steam Deck, as you're seeing, but you'll need to install Windows on the Steam Deck and run Steam and install the games through an SSD or a memory card in order for them to work. Steam Deck has its own operating system called Steam OS that it boots into every time you turn it on, and that's where you link your Steam account and you can play the games, and if they're verified, they will just play straight away. But in the case of these new modern CODs that were just added, they unfortunately don't work natively on Steam through its operating system, so that's why you need to use Windows and have it on an SSD or a memory card. But at any point in time, Valve could do some updates to make these games run natively so you don't need to run Windows, and they will work perfectly because, as you can see, they already run amazingly well on the Steam Deck. As you see, if I boot up the Steam version on my PC, you can see the icon in the lobby now shows a Steam icon to show that we are playing on that platform, which is super cool. Now, the only downside to these modern CODs being added is that Activision missed one. Sadly, Black Ops 4 is not part of the games list on Steam, and the reason for that is because the game doesn't have cross-play support like all of these other games do. Now, sadly, that game is now going to be 5 years old this year, and I don't think there's any chance that they will ever go back and add cross-play support. But it would be insane if the game was added on Steam, even if people couldn't play with Battle.net players, because it would make the population for Blackout servers and Black Ops 4 zombie servers increase, and there suddenly be a big interest in Black Ops 4 again. I want to get some Fs to pay respects to Black Ops 4 in the comments below. I want to make sure you guys haven't forgotten about that game. Another reason why these modern CODs don't work natively on the Steam Deck is because of the anti-cheat that exists in all of those games. But regardless, we made it work. Now, myself and a lot of other people thought the moment that Black Ops Cold War in particular was added to Steam was that there was a chance, a very, very small, very unlikely chance, that mod tools could eventually one day be brought to Black Ops Cold War now it's on Steam. I brought this idea up on Twitter, and as you can tell from the interactions and the views that the tweet got, a lot of people agreed, were excited by that idea. And whilst it is extremely unlikely to happen, it does make the chances of it happening in Treyarch's next game in 2024 quite likely, actually. The last Black Ops game we saw on Steam was Black Ops 3. That got mod tool support, and with Black Ops 4 being on Battle.net, I had zero chance of any mod tool support. Black Ops Cold War only existed on Battle.net until yesterday, so there was no chance of mod tool support either. There is a really good chance that Treyarch's next game, now it will be on Steam, will have Steam Workshop support and eventually mod tool support, which, if it happens, will cement that game as the pure modern version of Call of Duty Zombies that people will play for an enormous amount of years. Black Ops Ops 3 is going to be 8 years old, and we're still playing custom zombies on it to this day, and the game and engine still feel fantastic. But eventually, there has to be a new modern game to replace it, and I feel that Treyarch have the most perfect opportunity when it comes to this with their next game. I don't think it will happen with Black Ops Cold War, because aside from having the Steam crossplay support, there isn't any other features that they could possibly add in the game at this point in time to enable Steam Workshop and for them to develop separate mod tools to release to the community. Like, I just don't think it can happen. But I think there is a very good chance that with Black Ops 2024 being on Steam, there is no reason for Treyarch not to add Steam Workshop and mod tool support to that version of the game. Up until now, we weren't sure if Modern Warfare 2 on Steam was going to be an anomaly, and that was the only new modern COD that we'd see released on Steam. It seems like Activision have done a 180 on their original ideas to have these games exclusively on Battle.net and to now have them on Steam. And I don't know if this is something that Microsoft are wanting to push when they eventually acquire Activision, and so they're already starting the ball rolling with it, but it's a really good sign to see. And if there is any Call of Duty studio that is more likely to release Steam Workshop and mod tool support, is going to be Treyarch. Like, come on. Now, for anyone questioning if you already own these games on Battle.net, can you just transfer that over to Steam? And unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. This is essentially a different platform, just like as if you bought it on Xbox and then asking if that would work on PlayStation. It just won't. So if you already own these games on Battle.net, there's not really any point in getting them on Steam again. There is zero difference in these versions, so there is no real reason to buy it again. I bought Cold War again just because I wanted to see if I could get it working on Steam Deck for this video, and it was a little bit of a hassle, but we got it to work, and I'm really happy. But if you don't own any of these games on PC, you want them on PC, this is one of the best deals you'll find on these games in probably a really long time. They are 50% off, and these prices are some of the cheapest I've ever seen for the digital versions of these games. And also bear in mind, you don't have to buy any of the DLCs on these games. They were all free, so the $24.99 is the only thing you pay for. The rest of the DLCs are absolutely free. Let me know in the comments below, would Cold War custom zombies force you into getting the game on Steam if you already own it? I think it is extremely likely that Treyarch's next game will have mod tool support. Their game will have had the longest development time since like Black Ops 3, a really long time. And look what happened when Black Ops 3 was given 3 years. We got an amazing game, and we also had this incredible long-lasting support with mod tools, which has made the game have such a crazy longevity. I'm sure Activision has seen the sales of Black Ops 3 on PC just keep going and going because of the mod tool support there, having all of those unique experiences that you just can't get in any other console. It just makes so much sense, and a really good opportunity for them to finally update the mod tools and bring brand new modded maps for a brand new platform and game engine with their next game.